Hello, my lovelies. This is going to be your weekly reading. All signs are included in this: fire, water, air, and earth. I will timestamp in the comments. This is going to be another of the large weekly readings. So we're going to timestamp the weekly, love messages, spiritual guidance, shadow work, and the weekend. So check below to see what you are looking for. All right, Spirit, what do we need to see this week? What's the energy and how do we raise the vibe? Okay, choose kindness. I was called here on a mission. Very interesting. All right. So what I'm really picking up that there's going to be an opportunity for you to show your true heart, okay? Your soul, your purpose for existing here. And that probably includes doing some of your mission work, the reason why you exist here at this time. So for some of you, you are a star seed, meaning that you come from other realms and you're here incarnated at this time in order to help share knowledge and bless the collective with your spiritual gifts. Now, if that rings true for you, you're here on a double mission. You have personal goals to achieve at a spiritual soul level, and you also have a bigger collective purpose for existing at this time. Part of that, I feel like you're going to be tested this week. So it's important that you remember to show kindness. This could be an act of service somewhere. This could be a simple thing like maybe you buy somebody's coffee in the morning on your usual commute. Whatever it happens to be, Spirit is encouraging you at this time to use your kindness for good. Okay, really important. So I feel like some of you, your mission is so much bigger than you even realize, and you're going to be activated at this time in order to start stepping into that purpose and your calling. So your mission could be being activated this week. All right, so I really like this message that the book has about I was called here on a mission, so I'm going to give you that one out of the book. This is certainly not your first incarnation, and there's a good chance that it's not your last. Before you came into this body, your soul set the intention to remember the power of your spirit in this lifetime. It set the intention to bring in the light of Source. That was your mission. The rest was left up to you, all the learning, all the experiences, and what you might do with them. But your life has great purpose, and when this card comes to you, the universe is reminding you of it. In fact, this card brings a boost of confidence. It shows that you are on the right path. Just by being who you truly are, you are a bright spark of light and goodness to other people. So stop getting yourself worried about specifics. Just express the power of your spirit in the most authentic way possible. Shine now, shine where you are, and express your gifts to the rest of the world, and the rest will unfold. Remember the power of your spirit this week. So really important. And choose kindness is simply that. It's about choosing to be kind in a situation where maybe you don't initially feel like you want to be kind, right? Compassion can go a long way in life. So whether it seems really insignificant to you, if you're put in a position to choose negative or kindness, always choose kindness. All right, let's get into it. What do we need to see this week? Spirit, fire, water, air, and earth. What is the energy? It's currently snowing so much outside. Everything is white behind me. It looks really crazy out my window. Love it. All right. Ooh, Spirit wants you to shift your perspective in a love situation. I feel like what you are really looking for is some sort of stability or stabilizing influence to come in your love life. Some of you, I feel like, maybe used to view marriage and commitment as more of like a prison or confinement, hiccups for confirmation. I do feel like some of you are shifting your perspective either on a certain person or marriage as a whole. And we're going to say marriage because traditionally this would be union with the forever person in your world. I really feel like some of you have maybe lost a spouse. Some of you might have gone through a traumatic breakup, a divorce, things like that. And Spirit might be trying to get you to see things differently. So you could have to show some kindness and compassion to maybe somebody that you had an ending with. It could also be somebody that is wanting a second chance. We are still in Mercury in retrograde, so very interesting. So the key here is to shift your perspective and to see the situation differently. Spirit's about to serve some justice. Could be dealing with courts, contracts, or legalities, right? Marriage is a binding contract. So I feel like for some of you, maybe one of these is ending in your world, right? But you are choosing yourself in this situation, choosing to be kind to yourself at this time. The Empress is divine feminine energy, but she embodies things like creation. There could be pregnancy announcements. For some of you, maybe you found out that your spouse or partner was cheating and that there's like a child in the mix. Very interesting. Okay. I really feel like you're about to kind of step into your power, your confidence, and to let go of some of these things. I feel like your intuition is going to show you where you need to show kindness and compassion. Remember, not everybody deserves that. Some people are evil, and we don't have to associate with that energy. But Spirit's going to align you with who or where you're supposed to be. But they need you to walk away from what doesn't serve your highest good moving forward. So there might be a relationship in your life that it's like you've exhausted all your options. You might be being pulled out of a situation that's really not healthy for you in order for you to actually see things more clearly. What else? Yeah, you might be shifting directions because of work. So there could be some movement, quite literally. You might be packing your bags and moving because you're headed in a different direction full of opportunities. For some of you, I feel like you're going to have to travel for this position. Not that you have to, you're going to want this position. So while it could have taken a really long time for these things to happen in your world, Spirit's about to, again, rectify the situation. You're here to do mission work, so Spirit's trying to align you with that. If you feel like you've been called to rest a lot lately, you've been really exhausted, really drained, there's a reason for that. Spirit's trying to get you prepared for this next leg of your journey, and you probably need to be well rested. Interesting, yes. Okay, so I do feel like you might have been dealing with a really cold authority figure, somebody who's really smart, but they're also somebody who doesn't have a lot of compassion for others. Quite truthfully, the King of Swords is probably my least favorite. He's more critical, he's more analytical, he can be a challenge to deal with. And so I feel like some of you were in either a marriage or a long-standing commitment with this person. While it might have started out very romantic and very beneficial, I feel like something drastically changed in this situation. And Spirit is encouraging you that if this just isn't a good fit, they want you to leave it behind. But that takes the tremendous amount of strength, courage, and confidence. Ironically, your I Was Called Here on a Mission card talks about exactly that you just need to be authentically who you are. Certain things, people, and situations don't align with where you are supposed to be going, so you will be leaving some things behind. Some of you are building a business, all right? You're building a legacy, and it's going to take some time, so slow and steady wins the race. However, I do feel like you're going to be quite successful, but you do need to watch out for pitfalls. You do need to watch out for the company that you keep. There could be a snake in your midst, somebody that's not good for you. You are manifesting some forward progress, some new beginnings, okay? And Spirit wants you to know that you have all of the tools in your arsenal, so to speak, of what you're going to need for your next leg of your journey. Part of that is healing from what broke you, okay? Because we don't want to take that forward with us. So grief, loss, mourning, heartbreak, betrayal, all of these things, right? We're pulling the swords out of our own back so that we can heal. Some of that requires some inner work, some shadow work in order to reflect on these changes. So you might be choosing to retreat and go within to work on you in the meantime. But endings will bring new beginnings. What they're really drawing me to is that spring is a time of renewal, and we're almost to the spring equinox. We've got about 4 to 6 more weeks. It's like mid-April when we hit the spring equinox. In the northern hemisphere, wherever you are in the if you're in the southern hemisphere, you're going into whatever winter. So what Spirit's showing me with this is that you're about to emerge transformed, right? You're remembering why you're here. You're remembering what your mission work is. Part of that is to show kindness and compassion through the collective. So even if you're dealing with people who are more like a tyrant or a dictator, Spirit doesn't want that to harden your heart. Spirit wants you to be authentically who you are. If you're an empath, if you are somebody who really feels all the emotions, you have to surround yourself with love and compassion as well. Some of that starts with self-love and self-care. I feel like you're manifesting potential for new love coming in. I feel like you are manifesting a perfect fit for yourself that could lead to commitment in your future, but I feel like you have to be healed and ready for this opportunity. I think work's going to take up the majority of your time, but there is this essence of love that's trying to come in this week as well. So go inward, reflect where you need to reflect. Cut out the dead weight, let go of the things that are holding you back. Remember to embrace creativity, compassion, and above all else, choose kindness. All right, we're going to do some love messages. What do we need to see? What's the vibe around love and relationships? Singles, couples in separation, twin flames, and soulmates. Take what fits, leave the rest. Do not live in fantasy land. Remember that you need to operate in reality. All right. My aura is magnetic to golden opportunities. Wow. Okay. I feel like for some of you, there's going to be a new person that comes in that's just like enamored with you, just drawn to you. There's something about your energy, your aura, your magnetism. And Spirit's telling me your powers of seduction, that this person, it's like they just eat it up. Every little thing that you do, they cannot get enough. That's interesting. So there could be some new opportunities coming in that it's like they just kind of land in your lap. Anything else to do with love, please? Trust your gifts. Interesting. So your gifts could actually be the reason why this, they're telling me match made in heaven actually happens. Okay. What else do we need to know about love and relationships? All right. So this person might, really come in hot and heavy. Interesting. This person could have fire placements big time. Aries, Sagittarius, or Leo. The Knight of Wands is somebody who's kind of seen as non-committal. There's somebody who's seen as like the player in tarot. So they come in really quick. They come in really hot and heavy. But is it all just like, primal energy? Is it all just sexually motivated? Could be. All right, what else? Knight of Cups. However, you do have another person trying to come in that's a little bit more of a slow burn. Somebody that wears their heart on their sleeve, but they're lacking a little confidence. Knights bring news. So I do feel like there's something to do with your gifts that put you in this alignment. Interesting. What else do we need to know? Queen of Cups. Okay, both of these options might be younger than you. If you're the feminine energy, Knights are typically like early 20s. So I feel like this Queen of Cups is somebody who really does have strong spiritual gifts. And I feel like this Queen of Cups is somebody who's nurtured those, somebody who's really worked on refining these things. And so this person might really be drawn to your energy. I do feel like if there is romance here, it's a bit of an age gap. And I feel like it's something that maybe doesn't bother the younger ones that are pursuing, but it might be an issue for the feminine energy, the Queen of Cups energy. So nurture the things you want to grow. If you're not interested in this, be honest and tell this person that it's not going to work for you. However, if you are, you're going to have a few options to choose from. Very interesting. All right. I do feel like you have quite a few people that are kind of rushing forward with offers. Because this Queen of Cups is about to gain some sort of public victory, recognition, fame, fortune, reward, right? But there are some shady people, right? There's always somebody in the mix that's like not good. So we want to use some caution there. We want to make sure that we're not getting involved with crummy people. So that's why we need some boundaries. Stand up for your beliefs, because if you don't, nobody's going to. So defend what's best for you. Stick to your boundaries, kind of stick to your guns there. We have the Hierophant. So somebody could be coming forward with a legitimate offer of commitment. Very interesting. You're going to have choices, though. The Hierophant's also a card about spiritual learning, ascension, sharing knowledge, mastery. Maybe this Queen of Cups is actually mentoring to these younger people. That might also be why they're just kind of like eating it up, why they just want to be in that energy, right? So I do feel like somebody is really trying to put in the work. I do feel like it's this Queen of Cups. I feel like she's primarily focused on all the things she needs to do at work, right? There's this laundry list of to-do things every single day of the week, and I feel like this person is slowly checking things off the list one by one, going through the motions. But I feel like what Spirit's trying to do is take some things off of this person's plate in order for her to really focus on her gifts. This is interesting. So work could be changing. Maybe how you choose to work, maybe your job in general, maybe you're shifting career paths, things like that. So I do feel like this person has really been putting in the effort, and that's why they're going to be victorious. That's why this person's all of a sudden going to be like a focal point or center stage in the public eye in some way, shape, or form. You might have been hidden in plain sight this whole time, but I feel like not for much longer. I really do feel like this person kind of gains notoriety, right? Because your energy is all of a sudden magnetizing you to these opportunities. King and Queen of Cups. So you could have an equal match coming in that wants commitment. Very interesting. I do feel like this person, this King of Cups, is going to help you see opportunities that are actually suited for you, and also going to help show you things where it's like this person's trying to pull the wool over your eyes. They're trying to deceive you in some way, shape, or form, and this isn't something that you maybe want. So listen to your internal GPS, your intuition. You do have some balance trying to come in. Temperance is a card that also tells us there's the possibility of a reconciliation. If you want it. If you don't, say no to it. You do have a wish fulfillment that's trying to come in, so stay positive until it actually comes to fruition. We do have Justice followed by the Wheel of Fortune. So for some of you, I do think you're contemplating marriage and commitment. The Hierophant, we also have the King and the Queen of Cups. So I do think unions are going to be happening in the collective. And Wheel of Fortune is all about good luck coming, some unexpected financial blessings coming in. It's karmically owed to you, and we know that it's coming in because your aura is magnetic to golden opportunities. So trust your gifts. You've been juggling a lot. That's exactly what I'm picking up, is that this Queen of Cups has a lot on her plate, right? And so we need to kind of eliminate some things that we don't want to do anymore, whatever that happens to be. Maybe you just have too many irons in the fire, so to speak, and so Spirit's trying to say, let me take some of that away and let's focus on what's most important. Let's get you where you want to be. Let's, build the bank account. Let's build your business. Let's get you in touch with your spiritual gifts so that you can do what you're here to do. You can help others. All right, we have the Page of Wands and the Seven of Coins. I feel like Spirit wants you to have more fun. Right? Not everything has to be so boring. Not everything has to be so challenging. So this is an opportunity for you to decide who you want to work with, what you want to do about that. Do you continue to invest in things that bear no fruit? Or do you maybe go cut a rug, go have some fun, go explore things in life, go do new things, talk to new people, have some adventure, all right? You're going to be faced with some decisions. Some of this is confusing you at this time. So you need to get really clear on what it is that you want and what it is that you don't want. And that is where your spiritual gifts come into play. The High Priestess is Pisces energy. It's mastery, okay? And this High Priestess is all about higher learning and knowledge. And so, again, I feel like you might be in a position of power. You might be in a position to share the wisdom that you have mastered at this point. Don't get stuck in your head. I feel like that's really important. Don't get stuck in your head. Don't doubt your gifts. Spirit wants to showcase your talents and abilities. Spirit wants you to guide people who feel lost at this time, especially if you've lived a little bit and you've got some life experience. Again, you have tools in your arsenal that Spirit is going to showcase. That is what puts you potentially in the spotlight. Whether it's a personal story about your journey, whether it's something that you had to learn through the School of Hard Knocks, those might be some things that Spirit wants to show you. So if Spirit is prompting you to share something, do so. make sure that you know it's from Spirit, okay? You could be moving, traveling, or relocating as well. You're getting out of conflict and chaos. You're getting out of this pattern of overthinking. If you've been working on yourself, doing shadow work, that also gets rewarded. You might feel like you need to retreat. Maybe there's too much conflict and chaos going on around you. Let's face it, the world as a whole is kind of a shit show right now, right? We're in World War III, but nobody officially wants to call it that. There's conflicts everywhere, and you are looking for peace. You might be the peaceful person in the midst of a storm that helps other people get through something. Remember that. You have knowledge to share. We're overcoming a lot of toxicity, okay? Last year was the year of the wood snake. This is Capricorn energy with the devil. The devil is symbolic for temptation, overcoming challenges, overcoming things like addiction, codependency, and toxic cycles that repeat. You could be the generational curse breaker in your bloodline. I am in mine. Firstborn eldest daughters tend to have a really rough go in life, but they also tend to be the fucking goat. So remember that going forward. It's leading to a lot of blessings and a lot of happiness. Remember, you're about to be magnetic to golden opportunities this week. So when it comes to love, are you building a legacy you could be proud of? You might be building generational wealth for those that come after you. I feel like this is something that you're going to turn back and look back on your life one day and go, man, I really did that. I feel like you're about to meet somebody who you wind up being with forever. And I don't say that lightly, like your forever person. I feel like marriage and commitment are on the table. I feel like you're going to be a household name for some of you, not for all of you, but for some of you. You will be potentially rich and famous because of what you're about to do. And you're going to have a lot of people that want to be in your orbit, in your energy, in your aura. So set some strong boundaries this week. Don't let just any old person in there. Not everybody's meant to go with you. You're eliminating some things on purpose so you can align with your blessings. All right, let's see what Spirit has for us. What spiritual guidance do we need? How do we raise the vibe spiritually this week? What do we need to see? Forgiveness brings freedom. Okay, so some of you are breaking some chains or breaking some cycles in your world. You are going through some sort of change, transformation, and metamorphosis, right? And a butterfly that we have on this card tells us that there is, they're giving me the yin to the yang. That's not normally what I would say. I do feel like you're going through a change that it's going to be a polar opposite of what you used to be, is the best way I can describe it. They're actually showing me a yin-yang sign, so that's like the swirl. One side is white with a black dot, the other side is black with a white dot, right? Polar opposites, night and day difference. And so by setting yourself free from these things that have held you back, energetically, spiritually, emotionally, mentally, physically, all of these things you're breaking free from. So there's a lesson here in learning to let go, and that catapults you forward through this evolution, this transformation and metamorphosis, and it will be a night and day difference when you set yourself free. Wow, okay. What else do we need to see, Spirit? Anything else that we're working on? Spirit wants you to know that you're protected by Source, okay? Always. You have guardian angels, you have a spirit team, you have guides, ancestors, you have Source on your side, okay? So know that if you feel prompted to make these changes, Spirit's going to help you through these. Ask your guides for help and assistance. Ask for Spirit to remove things in the least painful way possible that aren't serving your highest good. And watch doors slam shut and the key be thrown away. Watch new opportunities take their place, and bring in blessings to your life. It doesn't always feel good, I will tell you from personal experience, to lose close friends or family members out of your world. But on the other side of that, Spirit's heard things that you didn't. Spirit knows the bigger picture of this situation. So if people, places, or things are exiting your life, know that something better is coming in its place. Allow it to leave, okay? Spirit wants you to know where there's a will, there's a way. So follow that yellow brick road to the unknown. I feel like Spirit's going to be guiding your steps out of a really dark and trying time into something where there's growth potential and new beginnings. And Spirit needs you to know that it's okay to feel what you need to feel. Again, not all of transformation is pleasant. Not all of it is fun. Some of it really sucks. And I'm going to be the first one to tell you. People on social media always talk about, oh my gosh, do your shadow work. Oh my gosh, this and that. It's so great. Yeah, later it's great. But I'll tell you, when I went through my dark night of the soul, when I was dealing with massive grief from losing my mom really unexpectedly in 2020, I didn't give two shits about all of the stuff that people were talking about. Oh, it's going to be so great. No, it fucking hurt. It left some serious scars, and your transformation might leave some serious scars too. Know that it's okay. It will be okay. But in the interim, when things are changing, it doesn't always feel okay. But it's okay to feel not okay, and you need to know that. Just know that it's supposed to be a temporary experience. It's not supposed to be permanent, that your life is always in turmoil. You should find some stability once these changes actually are done. So know that forgiveness is going to bring you freedom. All right, Spirit. What's going on spiritually for my collective? Let's see what we have. Big old stack. All right. Lots of stuff. Yeah. Spirit's got jokes. I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing with you, right? All right. So Spirit wants you to know, expect some massive changes, okay? But those massive changes are what's going to set you free. So allow the tower to fall. Some of these could happen in a shocking manner. It might be sudden upheaval, tower crumbling to the ground, right? If we look at this card closely, there's lightning that strikes the tower, and there's things like usually it's depicted as like earthquakes and the tower literally breaking apart. So in the midst of the change, it kind of sucks, right? We know that that can be kind of destructive in nature. These two people are falling out of the tower, and they look like they're falling head first to the ground, okay? So we want to spare ourselves from all of the extra headache if we possibly can. Sometimes we can, sometimes it's avoidable, and other times we ignore those inklings or those signs from Spirit, and we have to learn lessons the hard way. You choose. Do you want to learn things the hard way, or would you rather learn it in the least painful way possible? I'm at the point in life, I feel like I learned enough stuff the hard way. I don't want to do that anymore, and I'm sure you probably don't either. So ask Spirit to remove things in your life that don't serve your highest good. How? In the least painful way possible. And watch Spirit move mountains for you. So expect some big changes as a result. I feel like for some of you, you've really got to decide whether this is working or if it's not. And if it's not, it's time to throw in the towel. Spirit wants you to know that you're protected by Source. So if you knew you couldn't fail, what would you set out to do? It's one of my favorite quotes. If you knew you could not fail, what would you do? Big things, right? Of course you would, because you knew that failure wasn't an option. Spirit wants you to be successful. Spirit wants you to be happy. So what are you going to try today, knowing that Spirit's got your back? For some of you, you are paving a new path forward. You're getting out of conflict. You're getting out of chaos. Remember, where there's a will, there's a way. Some of you really want to fucking move. You want to leave your environment. I hate the neighborhood that I'm in right now. I would love to be able to sell our house and to move someplace with acreage so my crazy reactive dogs could be dogs and be outside as much as they wanted to. And I didn't have to listen to all the constant barking from all my neighbors and all the dogs. That's not something that most people probably are dealing with right now. But where there's a will, there's a way. So if you want to move out of your environment, Spirit's going to place you someplace you want to be, or someplace that you are needed at this time. Remember to nurture the things that you want to see grow, okay? Divine feminine energy is receiving energy. It's the softer side of the coin. So I feel like you need to nurture yourself at this time. If you're not feeling okay because you're going through major upheaval in your life, the state of the world's a fucking rolling shit show, there's a lot of conflict, a lot of chaos going on, right? Go inward, reflect. Decide what you need to focus on. And I promise you, it's not the stress and the worry. Spirit wants you to refocus your energy. Yes, it's okay to feel not okay, but they don't want to stay in that energy. So it's important that we start to nurture things that we want to see grow. Focus on creative outlets. Focus on things where you can be at your best. So maybe you need to practice some self-love and self-care in order to feel at your best. Some of you could find out you're expecting, or people around you are expecting. There's transformative new energy trying to come in. What they're drawing me to is how on this card, it's like the fall leaves. Okay. And so think about it like this. In fall, what happens? Things go dormant. Trees lose their leaves, right? They shed. Okay. We've already dealt with that. The stillness of winter is the resting phase. And then in spring, we get what? The renewal, right? The creation. And we have blooms of flowers here on this card. So I feel like this metamorphosis may have started for you all the way back in fall. And as you transition through winter and the dormancy, you've gone within, you're working on yourself. You're overcoming these cycles. Maybe you had some tower moments along the way where things had to end. Guess what else you've got coming in? We have the potential for love and commitment. Could be with a divine counterpart. This could also change your entire world for the better. What happens if your kingdom spouse came in? What would you do? Would you celebrate that? I would sure hope so. It's somebody that's meant to be in your life for the better. So I feel like you have a lot of new blessings that are trying to come in. Some of it comes in really quickly. This is fast acting. So we're in the year of the fire horse, and I love how this knight is charging forward on his brave steed, right? I feel like this one is somebody who's really thought about all the reasons why it won't work, all the reasons why it should not be something that they go after, and yet they've found their confidence to find a way to do it anyway. Spirit might be guiding you to actually take action somewhere quickly. All right. So this could be something that really changes in your work sector or in love. The Knight of Swords is somebody who isn't going to sit back and not take action. The Knight of Wands and the Knight of Swords are the two fastest moving knights in the tarot. So this is something that will happen quickly. All right. Could be love that happens quickly. You know, the old cliche saying, when you know, right? Well, think about certain couples in life. Maybe they've been together for years, right? But maybe it started with like one date and they're just inseparable. Like they've never been apart since that very first time. That could be something that's coming in for you. It might happen quickly. It might shock you. It might surprise you. Spirit has a way of rewarding you with things that you least expect when you are in alignment. So if you're in alignment, I would say expect the unexpected. You're going to have a lot of quick changing stuff. Some things are ending, right? We've asked Spirit to remove things from our world that don't serve our highest good. Let that shit end. We don't want it anymore. So you're definitely going through a transition. Remember, Spirit wants you to know where there's a will, there's a way. If you want it bad enough, you're going to find a way to get to it. Spirit's going to reward that hard work. They're going to bring in new people, new opportunities. So you could be hearing from a certain someone. You could be hearing about an opportunity. Could be hearing some pregnancy announcements. Could be hearing about some major changes going on. There's a lot of big news, I feel like, that's coming in this week. What else do we need to know, Spirit? Okay, there's some sort of decision that you have to weigh. So remove any sort of blindfold that you have on about the situation and see it for what it is. Remember, we're taking off the rose-colored glasses. Facts and figures matter. Hiccups for confirmation. So I do feel like for some of you, you are really forging a new path, right? Maybe you're forgiving yourself for the past. Maybe it's a past partner that resurfaces. We're still in Mercury in retrograde. And so I feel like you're making a conscious decision to let things go. That opens up new opportunities coming in. I do feel like you're going to be in alignment for these things to come in. One of those opportunities could be love that comes out of nowhere for some of you. Maybe you moved to a new place, you had no intentions of meeting anybody, dating anybody, getting married, any of that stuff. And it's like, well, you know, you're just like the one that they've been looking for. Here it is, out of nowhere, showing up for you. Very interesting. Anything else, Spirit? What else? Last card. What do we need to see? Thank you. Starts with a shift in perspective, right? Forgiveness brings freedom. It's not always other people that we have to forgive. Sometimes we have to forgive ourselves for things that have happened. So do so. Break that chain once and for all. Set yourself free and watch the opportunities start to roll in. All right, we're going to do some shadow work. So I like to use two different tandem decks, two jewel decks for this. This one is called Conversations with Your Inner Self. If these trigger something within you, that's exactly what you do, is you talk about it with yourself. All right. What's triggering us this week, Spirit? What do we need to see? What is the trigger? Energy drainers. What always drains your energy and why? Limiting beliefs. What are your self-limiting beliefs? What else do we need to see? What is triggering us this week? What's the trigger? Triggers, quite literally. What are the triggers that bring out your shadow self? One more. Communication. How does your shadow self influence your communication style? All right. Now, how do we integrate and find the balance? How do we integrate and find the balance? What do we need to know? Forgiveness. How can you practice forgiveness towards your shadow self? Child self. If you could speak to your child self, what would you tell them? Repeat. I am safe and secure as I explore all facets of my being. Repeat. I am safe and secure as I explore all facets of my being. And big dreams. What are your biggest dreams in life? If your biggest dream happened, what would you do? All right, love those. All right, so our shadow work. This is also a dual deck or a tandem deck. I like to start with the shadow, and let's see what's hidden from us this week. What do we need to see, Spirit? What's hidden from the collective at this time? Whenever they find this message, what's hidden from them? What's hidden from the collective? All right, Seven of Swords. Nothing's going to be hidden. That's interesting. Okay, so whatever was hidden is being illuminated. So I feel like what they're drawing me to is that card about energy drainers. So I feel like you are a really resourceful person, somebody who's very intelligent, very intuitive, and somebody who realizes that maybe you don't feel right around certain people. Maybe you really do feel drained, especially recently. We've had a lot of like crazy astrology going on in the month of March. And so I feel like we're kind of coming out of the cocoon and we're emerging transformed in a way that we have boundaries, in a way that we no longer deal with things like disrespect. We're also dealing with people who maybe have harmed us in some way, shape, or form, and we're drawing that line in the sand, so to speak, saying no more. All right, so that's a big deal here. So whatever was hidden, if there's deception, betrayal, all of that stuff, lies, manipulation, it's found out so that we can set ourselves free from all of that crap. For some of you, it was in a love relationship, a partnership, a friendship, and I feel like you have decided to say no more to that, right? So there could be some breakups, especially if there's been like cheating or manipulation. I just feel like a lot of us are saying absolutely not. Like, we deserve better than that. It could be a divine masculine that you're saying no to. Not all twin flames will come into union, and that's a fact. So if this person was a false twin flame, if this person was a karmic, if this person was more of a lesson, learn the lesson and grow from it, because that's how you set yourself free. Very interesting. I do feel like there's some endings here. Yeah. This rejection or this ending might have made this divine masculine have to go inward and reflect on what they'd done. So male or female doesn't matter in tarot. It's simply energy, and we have both within us. So take it if it fits, and if it doesn't, leave it. All right. The Hermit is Virgo energy. Again, the cocoon, right? Exactly that. Thank you, Spirit. I do feel like this person is really challenging themselves, because Spirit's requiring it, to challenge themselves to understand why things don't work out for them in love and romance, why they keep repeating the same cycles, why they haven't found a spouse yet, why all of these things continuously repeat. The why. Why is it happening? They are challenged to go inward. All right. And so they might be going through their dark night of the soul, part of their spiritual evolution, their awakening. Why? Because spirit is requiring it in order for them to actually come out of this cocoon. Very interesting. You guys might be in a period of no contact, separation. You might have this person blocked. I do feel like the divine feminine has also been challenged to go inward and reflect. It's funny that both of them are out here in the reading. So while this isn't solely a twin flame shadow work reading, they are present. The energy is here. So the Empress in the shadow is probably my least favorite way to see her. She's hyper vigilant. She's kind of the helicopter parent. She can be a tad narcissistic. She can be somebody who's vindictive, somebody who wants revenge. She might be somebody who's struggling with infertility. She's somebody who her creativity has been blocked. None of that sounds good, right? So we want to flip those things around. How do we come back into alignment? How do we get out of this really dark place, right? Part of it is overthinking. And so if we trust the divine, we're going to realize what's for us and what's not for us, all right? Sometimes love isn't enough in an equation. Sometimes it's not a good fit. And in this energy, they're both toxic as fuck. They both have a lot of work to do. There has been some sort of ending. It could be a divorce. It could be a lot of disappointments. It's not the happily ever after that you thought it was going to be. So I feel like these two people are really tired of repeating cycles, right? It's almost like the light bulb finally clicks on and it's like, okay, am I the problem? And sometimes, yeah, we are the fucking problem. That's why shadow work's so important, because we can find a solution to being the problem, right? We can break a cycle that might be repeating, but it is a decision. Hiccups for confirmation. So I feel like both people are kind of contemplating, what is the next move here in this equation? What do I need to do? I feel like number one, there needs to be some sort of conversation had. All right. Maybe a conversation about an ending. I feel like cycles definitely repeat, and we don't want the toxic cycles to repeat, right? So we're saying no to that. We're saying no to the toxicity. This is about reclaiming your power. And they're telling me the word angelic. So angelic power could be stepping in to help create harmony and balance, especially for the twin flames, because at this point we need the twin flame collective to unite in order to bring peace and love and harmony back to the planet. It's needed. That's why they're here. So there is this evolution that's occurring behind the scenes. I also feel like this is an indication that people are really being set free from some sort of bondage and tyranny here in order to actually come back into alignment. Very interesting. So the devil in the shadow is all about taking back your power, taking back control, right? From dark forces, from things that were hidden, from toxicity, manipulation, mistreatment, oppression, all of these things that kind of hold us under the thumb by our oppressors. This is something that the collective is trying to equalize, is the word that Spirit's giving me. Knight of Cups. Someone's lacking their confidence when it comes to love and relationships. I feel like it's the divine masculine. I feel like the divine feminine is in energy where she has to do everything and she doesn't want to be in that energy. So she's hyper vigilant, right? She's acting out of character because she feels like she is not protected. So she cannot relax. She can't be in that submissive receiving energy because the divine masculine has to find his confidence in order to be the protector. Very interesting. Okay, 10 of Wands. So we're saying no to these things. We're saying no to the burden. We're saying no to the toxic cycles. We have 2 tens, 10 of Cups, 10 of Wands. That's a big hard pass, right? We don't want these things. We don't want these cycles to repeat. So something has to come to a close so we can turn over a new leaf. 7 of Coins. Is it worth it? Flat out, is it worth it? Is this person worth it to you? If it's a true divine counterpart, it is worth the investment. And I will tell you that twin flames are pretty rare. Yes, there are twin flames on the planet at this time, but no, not everybody has one. It's something that you signed up for through divine mission work before you incarnated. You've had several lifetimes with this person. You've learned several lessons with this person through many, many lifetimes throughout different eras of time. And I feel like this is going to be a really huge breakthrough when you realize that you and this person are interconnected literally for eternity. That's a true twin flame counterpart. Is it worth it? If it's a true twin flame, it is worth it. If it's a false twin flame or a karmic partner, it's still worth it. It's a lesson that you came here to learn. Absorb the lesson, master it, and move past it. And I feel like that's how you close some of these chapters. Interesting. Bottom of this deck, we have the Ace of Cups. We have the Ace of Cups in the center of this reading as well. There is a new opportunity because something has ended, right? Death card, double. Okay, repeating messages. So definitely twin flame energy here. We don't want toxic. We want to close that chapter once and for all. If you're both on the same page, that you've learned from your mistakes and you want to transition past this, you can. I really do feel like you can, but it definitely takes some work. What was I saying? You have past lives with this person if it's a true divine counterpart. So things from the past come back, right? Some of you, that's exactly what you want. It's a wish come true for this person to come back into your life. For others of you, you don't want an unhealed version, and that's completely understandable, right? But there is some sort of wish coming true, but it happens in divine timing. I also feel like it's really important that you pour into yourself first, right? Self-love and self-care are game changers. They're necessary. And that's part of what the self-discovery of the twin flame journey is about self-love and self-care. We tend to always give everything we have to those around us, and then we're depleted and we don't understand why we're upset. Well, you can't pour from an empty cup, right? You have to fulfill your needs first. It's not up to anyone else. It's up to you. You get filled up because of the divine energy, because of God, source, spirit, creator energy, okay? And if you ask God to help you fulfill your needs, you won't need other people to do that for you. You won't feel depleted anymore. God will show you where you need to implement boundaries. God will show you the people that are no good for you. God will show you within you what you need to change for you, no one else, for you to be at your best. So listen to where the divine is guiding you to make changes. Knight of Coins. You might be moving, okay? This divine masculine might be moving. They might be moving closer to you. I feel like for some of you, it's a physical distance and this person wants to close the gap. If that's been an issue or a point of contention, Spirit is kind of closing the distance for some of you. Knight of Cups, bringing in new love offers, finding our confidence, coming out of hermit mode, coming out of the cocoon, right? So positive changes as a result of shadow work. But you are still stuck wondering if you're going to hear from this person. Hanged Man with the 8 of Wands in the shadow. For some of you, I feel like this communication is going to come out of left field. For some of you, I feel like you haven't spoken to this person in months or even potentially in years for some of you. And it's almost like there's this nagging feeling at the back of your mind. It's like they cross your mind. You wonder about them, wonder if they think about you. I'm here to tell you that they absolutely do. And probably more than you have any idea that they think about you all the time. So I do think that this person is trying to contemplate when is the right time to come forward. Do I communicate? Does this person want to hear from me? And so I feel like you will be shocked when this communication comes in. For others of you, you've been struggling financially and Spirit's about to remove that obstacle, especially the divine feminine. I feel like the divine feminine, my hat's falling off. So we're just going to deal with hat hair for a second. There we go. All right. So I do feel like the divine feminine has really been struggling financially for quite some time. And so these are lessons that Spirit's trying to show you, that you can recover from these obstacles, that you don't have to be codependent, that you can fulfill your own calling in your own time and be successful on your own. 9 of Wands, but somebody's still guarded. Somebody's still overthinking this. I do feel like it's the divine feminine. The real question is why? Is your, they're giving me the word wealth, but do you feel like your wealth is tied up in other people? Do you feel like you're always being codependent, that you always have to rely on someone else to earn a living? Or do you feel like you're more self-sufficient? Because I feel like for some of you, you have some fucking work to do. Thank you, Spirit. So I feel like the Divine Feminine is working on things like self-worth attached to finances. And that's something I can honestly say I've had to work through for a long time as well. And I feel like the Hermit in this instance is also helping us to see that our worth and our value is not tied up in love and relationships. It's just not. If you've had endings, if you've had breakups, if you've gone through a divorce, it doesn't mean that there's something necessarily wrong with you. It could have just been not the right fit for you. Now, I will tell you that the Hermit and the Ten of Cups in the reverse is telling us that we do need to reflect on what happened. Okay, you do need to reflect on what was your part in this and take accountability and ownership, because it takes two people to make a successful relationship actually work. But I do feel like Spirit is trying to illuminate or showcase to you that just because something didn't work out doesn't mean there aren't other opportunities coming in. Nine of Swords. Things have caused you a lot of heartbreak, a lot of nightmares. I also feel like the Nine of Swords with the Two of Wands in the shadow tells us that there's been a lot of indecision, right? Because of worry, because of fear. Well, what if I do this and this happens? Well, what if I do that and that happens? All right, play devil's advocate. Do it. What happens? Play the what if game. See what happens. Go through all of the scenarios that you possibly want to go through. And I promise you, it's going to work out better than you expected if you can just stop overthinking it and just make a decision. Think about it. Be logical about it. Don't get carried away with things you're unsure of. But once you have all of the facts, make that choice and see what happens as a result. Ten of Wands. We're saying no to burdens, right? So this, I hate to use the word cowardice, but that's really what Spirit's giving me with the Knight of Cups in the reverse. The Knight of Cups needs confidence. This person wants to make a love offer, but they're lacking that initiative to make a move, right? Indecision, fear, all of those things. So we're saying no to that burden. Oh, what will people think? Oh, I don't know if my family likes this person. Oh, there's other obstacles. Oh, there's distance. Oh, there's this, financial obstacles, work, blah, blah, blah. If you want it bad enough, you're going to figure out a way to do it. And that's the truth. No matter what it is, whether it's a job you think you're unqualified for, whether it's a person, a relationship, moving, traveling, whatever. Where there's a will, there's a way. If you want it bad enough, you're going to figure out how to get there. And that's the truth. So lay down the burdens. Nine of Coins. You're about to step into some sort of abundance with the Ten of Wands in the reverse. Why? Because you're finally letting go of the garbage, okay? You're letting go of the obstacles. You're letting go of the naysayers. You're letting go of all of these doubts and fears that are blocking your blessing, okay? That's why we do shadow work. So you are about to have a lot of options and opportunities, especially when it comes to love. And I feel like that is exactly why this Divine Masculine has got to shit or get off the pot, right? They have to master these lessons before time is up. The Divine Feminine can be with anybody she wants to be with. The Divine Masculine can be with anybody he wants to be with, but it's not going to compare to your true kingdom spouse, to your true twin flame, the person you are meant to be with, okay? There's no comparison. When they're both in divine alignment and they're both in healed energy, nothing will compare to that. It's the other half of your soul. It's your divine mirror. It's somebody who is your greatest teacher and also your biggest blessing. And nothing and no one holds a candle to that. It's the truth. One final card for this, please, Spirit. Thank you very much. Three of Coins. It's going to take teamwork to make the dream work, right? You first have to collaborate with Spirit. Got to talk to God, okay? And if you aren't listening to what God needs you to do, you're never going to get anywhere, because you've got to listen to where God needs you to be. It doesn't matter what anyone else thinks. It simply matters where you're supposed to be. All right. There are some new opportunities coming in for finances as well. So it could be a new job opportunity. I love how this is the Ouroboros, the snake that's intertwined. It's eating its tail. And there's two of them there. So I do feel like somehow this turned into a twin flame reading. It wasn't supposed to be, but that's all right. So the Ace of Coins is usually seen as a hand coming through the clouds with a pentacle in it or a coin in it. Literally a gift from the divine. This is a blessing that's coming in for you for all of your hard work. But you're at a crossroads and you need to decide which path you take. Divine alignment or not. We have the Emperor and we have the Lovers. Again, nothing compares to your true divine counterpart. Nothing. So you have a choice to make about love. This is the energy you want to see him in. He's healed. He's in his divine energy, protector, provider, making bold strategic moves. And then I love that the Lovers came out with him, right? This would be something that takes your world in a totally different path, a totally different trajectory towards union, divine union. Couldn't make it up if I fucking tried. So he's coming in with bold action. He's a man with a plan. He's charismatic. He's otherworldly is what Spirit's telling me. So he might be well-traveled, might speak multiple languages. I feel like he has a lot of natural charisma. He's very attractive. He's attentive, but he takes action. He's not going to sit back and go, oh yeah, that's the person of my dreams, but I'm going to completely fuck off over here and ignore that person. No, not that person. One more, Spirit. What else do we need to know? What is the conclusion, please, for this reading? Five of Wands. Conflict, competition, rivalry, clashing egos, butting heads. That's what they want to let go of. They want to solidify things with the Hierophant, okay? This is spiritual ascension, all right? And so Taurus energy, slow, stubborn moving energy. However, it's taken just the right amount of time for this person to kind of come to their senses, to connect with God, and to realize that you are their blessing and that they only benefit from that blessing if they are protecting, providing the blessing, right? So I feel like this person could be a blessing to you in like a mirror, transmuting the energy. I feel like the feminine is also the blessing that the masculine needs, right? The safe space. Somebody that shows the empathy after all of these battles. The safe space for the masculine to rest. The safe space that brings in the peace, right? So while the divine feminine is a master in the spiritual, the divine masculine fights battles in the 3D as well as the spiritual. And I feel like together they create harmony on earth. Anything else we need to know? Ooh, maybe. Six of Swords, movement. Okay, there's movement where there's been a lot of stagnation. Rest while you can. I do feel like Spirit has called a lot of the twin flames to be in hibernation temporarily, but there will be communication. I love how we have the High Priestess and the Hierophant because those two would be an equal match, right? They're both divine facets of God, all right? She's like an oracle, a mouthpiece, a prophet, somebody who's divinely tapped in with a seer, insights, intuition, prophecy, all of those things, right? So is he. Divine mirrors here, masculine and feminine. So I feel like the two of them are really here at this time to help lead the masses to... They're giving me so much all at once. They're telling me to worship the divine in a way that we have never seen here on earth before. The truth. The truth. Wow. And I feel like there's going to be a lot of people that are led to our true creator, away from false prophets, gods, spirituality practices, things that are not of God. And I feel like these two together are destined to help lead people to Creator before we enter Armageddon. That's a seriously channeled message. So I feel like these two have had to work on themselves so intensely over the last few decades that they're finally at a point where they're ready to come into divine union. The Hierophant is a card about spirituality, connecting to God, enlightenment, ascension, and union. It's unity. And the divine feminine energy with the High Priestess is mastery, overcoming illusions, and really seeing and speaking the truth once and for all. That's powerful. I feel like there's one more. Nope, not that deck. This is the deck I wanted. Yeah, Page of Cups. So I do feel like there's going to be an unexpected love offer that comes out of this. Maybe even an unexpected union, right? So couldn't make it up if I tried. Unexpected unions. Absolutely. All the hard work pays off, okay? You come into divine alignment with your true person and things become solid and stable so you can fulfill your calling, your spiritual purpose, and your mission work here on this planet. All right, my lovelies, let's get a weekend reading. So happy fucking Friday. My birthday will be this week, so if you guys want to send some birthday wishes, I would love to hear from you. What do we have going on for the weekend? Next 72 hours from whenever they find this. What do they need to see? What do they need to know? They broke your heart. So fuck them. Ugh, people breaking your heart. Not my lovelies. No, absolutely not. We only resonate with love over here. Lightning. Figure some shit out on your own. I feel like for some of you, you're detaching, right? It's like you're just checking the fuck out. Deuces, we're gone. Don't care. We're going to go in a totally different direction. I feel like you're going to have... like a renewal over the weekend. Almost like maybe you just need to cut loose and go celebrate your freedom. Step away from the crazy making diet for a hot second. There we go. Mercury in retrograde. Kale and spirulina taste like ass. Eat some yummy shit. Bacon, chocolate, beer. Go get you some. It's a reset that you definitely need. So clear your energy. Clear your mind. If they broke your heart, fuck them. There's somebody better trying to come in. So Spirit's removing the riffraff. Ask a fucking expert. Don't rely on your friends or the internet. Listen to a damn professional. Good advice. Listen to a professional. You know, I feel like there might need to be some credentials that you ask for some of these professionals, right? You don't want to listen to some crazy Joe Schmo that claims that they're like this world famous yada yada whatever it is if they're not who they say they are. So make sure you check your sources. I do feel like you need some professional assistance. I won't call it help, but assistance somewhere. So if you do, seek out a professional. All right. What do we need to know this weekend? Fire, water, air, and earth. What's the energy? Thank you, Spirit. Raise the vibe one breath at a time. Keep calm and fucking breathe. Yeah, they broke your heart, so fuck them. Keep calm and fucking breathe. This too shall pass, right? Might pass like a kidney stone, but it's gonna fucking pass. You're about to be blessed as fuck, so what's the one thing you're grateful for? That you're blessed as fuck, and it's gonna shock you. It's gonna be something that comes in by surprise. I feel like for some of you, the reason that this ending is happening in your world is because this person wasn't in alignment with your blessings, and so Spirit has to remove them in order to give you the blessing. Let them leave. All right, what else do we need to know? Acceptance, better watch out. I'm coming for it next. Inner peace is my bitch. I do feel like you're mastering this, right? It's like, you know, blessings are coming, so just remember to fucking breathe. You're gonna be really, really blessed, so find that inner peace. Find your new normal. Take off the shit-colored glasses. We don't want to see all of the illusions anymore. The illusions are falling by the wayside. We are starting to see the truth for what it is. You are truly blessed. You just have to see it for what it actually is. You are tenacious, so stay determined and do not give up. Okay? This is merely a small blip on the story of your life, so don't let it be the entire story. No one is you, and that is your superpower. Be unique. I really feel like for some of you, you're going to be blessed just because of your unique gifts, talents, and abilities. You guys hear me say that stuff all the time, but it's the truth. People don't want fake, right? We don't want the rose-colored glasses illusions anymore. We want authenticity, and that cannot be faked. So be who you truly are, faults and all. I trip over my own words. I show up and I look like a rolling shit show some days when I record videos. This is me. I don't feel like I have to pretend to be somebody that I'm not any longer. So be who you truly are, and the right people will gravitate towards what? Your authenticity, okay? So actually you can. Spirit wants you to know, actually you can. So do you believe it? Can you just be yourself? Can you find that inner peace? Of course you fucking can. Inhale the future, exhale the past. Welcome the future. It's time to let go of the past. So So we got to see it for what it is before we're going to be able to set ourselves free. Hey, Spirit, give me something good. We need something good, right? Maybe we should do that. I want you guys to comment if you made it all the way to the weekend reading, because I know these are longer messages. That's why there's timestamps. But if you made it all the way to the end and you made it to the weekend message, I want you to comment something good that's happening in your world. Throw something good in the comments. Something good, okay? Because we could use some good news. I don't care what it is. If it's something good to you, throw it in the comments. Tell me something good. All right. What do we need to see for the weekend? Fire, water, air, and earth, spirit. What we got going on? All right. Interesting. King of Cups, Temperance, and the Ten of Swords. We're saying no to this person. We're saying no to the toxic cycles that are repeating, the conflicts, the backstabbing, the betrayal, the lies, the deception, all the bullshit. It is a hard pass. We're trying to find balance and alignment so that we come into our blessings. So Spirit wants you to say no to this. No, thank you. Do not want it. Get the fuck out of here. Okay? Leave it behind. What else do we need to see? Fire, water, air, and earth. That was pretty cool that you gave me 3 cards. Let's do that again. 3 cards. Fire, water, air, and earth. We got 1, 2, and 3. Love that. 10 of Swords, Ace of Coins, and the Star. By saying no to these burdens, we are opening up to new opportunities that lead to abundance, and that is a wish fulfillment. Why? Because Spirit's about to give us blessings. We're about to be blessed as fuck. We're saying no to the stuff we don't want, and in return, we are blessed with more than enough. Okay, 3 more. 1, 2, and 3. All right. Queen of Swords, 4 of Wands, and the Hanged Man. Strong boundaries leading to something stable, okay? We're saying no to the things that we don't want. Some of them, it's going to be off with their heads. We might be closing a chapter. We might have to go a little bit cold. We might have to stick up for what we believe in. That's okay. We need boundaries in order to create some stable environment. So you could be going towards love and commitment. For some of you, I feel like you're saying no because it's not the right fit. And for others of you, you might be really hung up on somebody. See the bigger picture so that you can set yourself free if it's not something that you want. For others of you, I do feel like you are going towards something more stable. Love, commitment, marriage, all of those things, right? So decide if it's for you, decide if it's not for you. One more, Spirit. There it is. All right. Love it. Page of Wands, 5 of Cups, and the 6 of Coins. Spirit wants you to step out of a comfort zone this weekend. They want you to play a little bit more, to have a little bit more fun, all right? And that will help you to shift your perspective and allow the blessings to flow. So you might have some unexpected financial blessings coming in, pay raise, promotion, check in the mail, enough to be generous to others. So maybe you can take somebody out of this negative energy that they're also in and get them to shift their perspective and enjoy life a little bit more. That is what I have for you, my lovelies. Have a wonderful week.